Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7th edition of HCL Grant, one of India's biggest and most coveted institutionalized CSR grants. I am Suraj Bharadwaj, and I will be your host for the day. Today, we are joined by Ms. Nidhi Pundhir, Director, HCL Foundation, the CSR arm of HCL Technologies, our esteemed NGO partners, and our friends from the media. We have assembled today to announce the winners of HCL Grant Edition 7 and are looking forward to an afternoon recognizing some exemplary work done by NGOs in the social development sector. Before we begin the conference, I would like to share some key instructions with you all. During today's conference, all attendees will be in a listen-only mode. For the best experience, please select the stack and full screen view on the top right of your screens. If you've joined us from your phone, the WebEx mobile app, you can double tap on the hashtag HCL Tech window for a better visual experience. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the conference. And in case you drop out, please rejoin us using the same invite link. If you experience any technical difficulties, you can message us using the Q&A panel. I'm excited and pleased to welcome Ms. Roshni Nada Malhotra to our annual gathering. Roshni is the chairperson of HCL Technologies and the chairperson for CSR Board Committee. She has joined us with a video message. May we have the video, please?
I'm proud to speak with you all as HCL Foundation turns a decade old. And we do this 2 years before the 10th year anniversary of the formalization of the CSR law in our country. We start our journey with the ambitious vision of creating pilot solutions. We call them source codes. These solutions, if applied at a large scale, have the potential to create a huge socio-economic and environmental impact. Our approach is anchored in being exclusive. We work with NGOs, government, and independent agencies to drive efforts that are aligned to the Sustainable Development Goals to help towards nation building. I am thrilled to say that the journey has been truly exciting and fulfilling. Over the last decade, our programs or solutions have been refined to deliver transformational and sustainable impact to communities where they are implemented. Today, HCL Foundation drives 5 flagship programs, including Samuday for Integral Rural Development, Uday to address urban poverty, Clean Noida to transform Noida into one of the cleanest cities in India, Harit for environmental action, and HCL Grant to empower nonprofits for community-led rural upliftment. Over the last decade, these programs have helped transform close to 3 million lives. HCL Foundation has created meaningful partnerships with over 200 NGOs to deliver impact in 122 districts across 21 states and 3 union territories. Today, we are celebrating the winners of the 7th edition of HCL Grant, a program that empowers some of India's most innovative nonprofits to transform rural ecosystems. HCL Grant has actively supported 32 NGOs to not only enhance their work, but also strengthen their organization and institute governance structures to make them future ready and attract financial aid from a larger group of partners. These NGOs have collectively improved 840,000 lives spread across the length and breadth of the country. This is truly deep impact. However, we have also created a pool of over 35,000 NGOs who have applied to the grant through the years. The rigorous grant process allows us to identify some of the best NGOs who are featured in an annual compendium that serves as a guide for organizations looking to find the right NGO partners for their CSR or philanthropic efforts. The first decade of HCL Foundation required us to make major investments in creating pilots or source codes like HCL Grant. The next decade will see us scale these and transform many more lives across many new geographies. We also aim to create strategic programs for climate action to contribute to our country's goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2070 and help enhance the Government of India's National Action Plan for Climate Change. I am confident that our collective actions will help ensure a brighter future for all in our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshni. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. C. Vijay Kumar, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director at HCL Technologies. CVK has shared this video message with us. May we have the video, please?
Dear friends, we are meeting today at a time when the world stands at the crossroads of crisis and humanity. As we strive to enable harmony between people, planet, and prosperity, corporate social responsibility has taken a whole new significance in this context. 10 years ago, when HCL Foundation was established, we set out with a vision to create templates or source codes for sustainable socio-economic and environmental development. The cornerstone on which it was built was the Power of One, an employee-led program based on the belief that even a small contribution can make significant difference in that society. 7 years ago, we made a paradigm shift, expanding our ambit from the power of one to the power of many with the HCL Grant, the flagship program built on invaluable partnerships with the Fifth Estate. The HCL Grant has helped us to go beyond the limits of our capacities to extend our CSR work to the remotest corners of the country. Focused on our core priorities of environment, health, and education, it has expanded our footprint from sustainable waste management in Karnataka to reviving primary health centers in Nagaland, from improving maternal, newborn, and child health in the tribal areas of Madhya Pradesh, to increasing water storage capacity in Rajasthan, to enabling digital literacy, financial literacy, and wholesome education for children across India. And as we push forward, we keep a close watch on quality and governance. HCL Grant Program is the prime example of HCL Foundation's advocacy for accountability and transparency in the development sector through institutionalized processes and governance structures. Our governance standards are indeed amongst the best in the world. This is core to HCL Technologies' CSR policy, which binds us to the highest standards of environmental sustainability and holistic integrated development. In the last decade, we focused on creating templates and source codes. In the next decade, we plan to implement and scale these source codes globally. As I extend a hearty congratulations to the winners of the grant this year, I do believe this is just the beginning. We have miles to travel together, and I have no doubt that with a collective passion and diligence, we will carry forward this mission to help create a better world. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, CVK. 2021 has been a difficult year for all of us. But even with an unrelenting pandemic affecting almost every individual across the globe, The current edition of HCL Grant had more than 8,400 registrations. Before we go ahead to the award ceremony, we would like to go through a quick video that wonderfully tries to encapsulate the entire grant process. May we please play the video?
What does it really mean to build a nation like India? It means that every child in every village spends time in the classroom learning about new things. It means that every woman is empowered to take her own decisions. It means having access to health facilities even in the remotest corner of the country. It means economic growth without the cost of environment. But what does it take to build a nation like India?
The Republic of India houses 1.4 billion people. The democracy of India rests on three constitutional estates: the judiciary, the legislative, and the bureaucracy. Free press has long been recognized as the fourth estate. HCL Grant is a step towards recognition of the fifth estate, the non-government organizations. NGOs have become a critical agent of change, playing a decisive role in building a stronger, future-ready India. Through HCL Grant, HCL Foundation aims to achieve sustainable rural development by supporting NGOs that are doing path-breaking work anywhere in India.
For a long time, NGOs have been playing a role of plugging the gaps for a large population of this country who are vulnerable in terms of education, health, environment, and sometimes even basic amenities. Today, there are around 3.3 million NGOs in India working towards making it an inclusive democracy. They reach where even the government agencies don't. This makes their role even more relevant and critical. However, the social development ecosystem in India is complex, where most of the NGOs are highly unstructured and do not have institutionalized processes and framework. This is where HCL Grant aims to play a role.
HCL Grant has two specific yet distinct objectives. The first and foremost is to award financial grant to innovative, replicable, scalable, sustainable, yet time-bound projects which are proposed by NGOs that are committed towards transformative rural development. The second is to publish the work of these NGOs through a compendium basis picture stories that are taken in the field during the process of selection, and publish this compendium each year such that these NGOs become globally visible for their path-breaking efforts.
In its 7 years journey till now, HCL Grant has impacted 840,000 human lives across 9,464 villages in 84 districts across 18 states and 2 union territories. The process. In 2021, HCL Grant called for applications in 3 categories: environment, health, and education. The online application portal opened for 90 days, during which the grant received 8,440 registrations and 1,587 completed applications. During this time period, 10 e-symposiums were organized with the participation of over 4,000 plus NGOs. In October, the first level screening began with the field visits across 15 states, 3 union territories, and 42 districts, covering a total distance of 146,108 kilometers by a group of subject matter experts, and the HCL Foundation team clocking 3,008 hours. 30 NGOs were selected for the sub-jury round. The sub-jury includes esteemed personalities from the HCL Group and the Shiv Nadar Foundation. Sub-jury chose 9 finalists for the jury round. The jury comprises 6 eminent personalities. The jury has selected 3 NGOs who will receive ₹5 crore in each category, and remaining 2 HCL Grant finalist NGOs in each category will receive ₹25 lakhs.
Thank you. I would now like to welcome Ms. Nidhi Pundhir, Director, HCL Foundation, who has been playing a pivotal role in the HCL Foundation's journey to take us through the various initiatives of HCL Foundation and the journey of HCL Grant so far. Nidhi, over to you.
Thank you, Suraj. And before we start, I would once again thank all the organizations, 8,440 who actually registered for HCL Grant Edition 7 and participating in this process, as well as believing in the independent methodology of HCL Grant. Once again, namaskar, good afternoon to everyone. It is such a pleasure to welcome all of you to the announcement of HCL Grant Edition 7 results. Friends, these have been very tough times for humanity. Although, during these times, the world has only realized more and more the important role that the NGOs, the not for profit sector as we call them, play in overcoming a humanitarian crisis, as well as contributing towards a HCL Grant. We recognize the immense contribution that NGOs, the fifth estate as we call them, make towards nation building. Viewers, I am delighted to share with you that this financial year, HCL Foundation, which is the CSR arm of HCL Technologies, also marked a decade of impactful transformational work. We are calling it a decade of stewardship and impact. Having invested more than 680 crores in corporate social responsibility, over this first decade of our existence, we have laid a very strong foundation of contributing towards prosperity of people and planet. Battling the reverses of inflicted by COVID-19, we mounted a significant response. As we sanitized and masked up, we recommitted ourselves to the mission of the foundation, which is a function of our humanitarian principles and values. Giving precedence to the immediate, we invested in long-term rehabilitation. As a team of more than 500 colleagues and more than 2,000 co-workers, highly qualified professionals, associated through over 200 partners, we have emerged more resolute to break the vicious cycle of poverty in urban and rural geographies. Added to this, we are now on the path of providing solutions to environmental poverty. Friends, all the work that you see today of HCL Foundation, the entire credit goes to highly qualified, committed, and passionate team that works 24/7 to make the of path-breaking in India. Year on year, we continue to be intrigued with the discoveries we make and the diamonds we mine out. We travel length and breadth of this diverse country, conducting on-ground symposiums for NGOs to be able to understand the HCL Grant's independent and robust methodology such that they can apply in most informed ways. A team of subject matter experts and governance partners meticulously study each application, weighing it against national, state, and district level fact sheets made from relevant secondary sources. A highly qualified team of experts, along with HCL Foundation team members, make a field visit to almost 15 NGOs per category, which is a huge task. Our eminent sub-juries discuss the top 10 applications thus selected and pick up top 3 basis ratings on governance. The weightage for governance is 40% and proposed proposal, which is weighed at 60%. Our extremely learned jury, through high-level deliberations, taking several factors into account, then provides us with the HCL Grant finalists. The jury is chaired by Ms. Robin Abrams, HCL Technologies' oldest serving board member. Mr. Shiv Nadar is a part of the jury, founder HCL Group. Mr. Suresh Narayanan, Chairman and Managing Director, Nestle India Limited. Mr. B.S. Baswan, former Director, Indian Institute of Public Administration and former Secretary, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Ms. Pallavi Shroff, Managing Partner, Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas. Dr. Richard Lauer, Sanskrit scholar and President Emeritus, the Field Museum, Chicago. That's our jury, well learned, highly qualified, highly experienced, and they study all the details meticulously and deliberate before announcing the recipient for each year for HCL Grant. Viewers, before we announce the names of the HCL Grant winners, let me take this opportunity to present to you the Volume 6 of the Fifth Estate, the HCL Grant Compendium, as a tribute to all NGOs that reached till the sub-jury stage, a unique book providing testimony to the path-breaking work by our heroes in the most remote regions. Let me also tell you that by the time the NGOs reach the sub-jury stage, there is an equal probability for them to be the recipient of the HCL grant or the winner of the HCL grant. Several factors are studied for us to be able to reach this conclusion, which we will be sharing with you soon. May I now invite Suraj to formally start the result sections of this event.
Thank you, Nidhi. We will now begin our award ceremony, and we will start with the first category of environment. Let us have a quick look at our finalists. May we have the video, please?
The finalists in the environment category are Lokmata Rani Rashmoni Mission, Navdanya Trust, Professional Assistance for Development Action, Pradhan,
Sundarbans of West Bengal is one of the most unique mangrove ecosystems in the world. It is divided into multiple tidal streams and islands. The communities living on the fringes of these forests depend on these forests for most of their needs, such as firewood. Using firewood in traditional stoves results in extreme indoor and outdoor pollution. At the same time, collection of firewood puts the users in direct conflict with the wildlife, while also causing destruction of the mangroves. The problem also gets acute due to the environmental factors, such as cyclones causing salinity and degradation of soil. Lokmata Rani Rashmoni Mission, a local NGO working towards the holistic upliftment of communities living in and around Sundarbans, has a simple yet effective solution. Navdanya Conservation Farm is a biodiversity sanctuary that spreads across 47 acres of land in the valley of Dehradun, Uttarakhand, and has been supporting more than 2,000 species of plants, along with 75 species of birds and 153 species of insects. This is a vision of Navdanya, an NGO which has been working towards finding actionable solutions and preserving biodiversity as a key solution to hunger, poverty, and unemployment for the past 3 decades. Their efforts also strengthen the implementation of the Biodiversity Act 2002 and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Navdanya believes rampant biodiversity erosion and loss of generations of indigenous knowledge is pushing both communities and species to hunger and extinction respectively, and hence suggests a solution. The Jungle Mahal region of West Bengal, mainly the western districts, is a part of Chota Nagpur Plateau that can be characterized with sharp undulations or hill formations. Despite receiving an annual rainfall of 1200 mm, the region deals with drought because of multiple reasons. Rampant deforestation over decades in the upper region, high runoff low moisture holding capacity, and absence of natural aquifers have resulted in extensive soil erosion. While in the lower regions, excessive use of chemicals in agriculture and elongated fallow periods have rendered the soil lifeless. Professional Assistance for Development Action, or PRADAN, is working towards creating a sustainable model of rejuvenating the entire ecosystem by mobilizing the local communities to reconnect with their environment. Women collectives facilitated by PRADAN are showing promising results on ground by creation of trenches and afforestation in the upper regions and adopting sustainable agricultural practices in the lower regions.
May I request Nidhi to announce the winner in the environment category?
Well, as you can see, it was not an easy call for the jury. The absolutely amazing work, path-breaking work being done by all the finalists. After very careful deliberation and considerations of various aspects, the jury vote has gone out to PRADAN. In action since 1983, PRADAN is a charitable organization founded by Mr. Deep Joshi and Mr. Vijay Mahajan. As co-founders, they began PRADAN with the aim to motivate and create space for professionals to work at the grassroots level. Very strong gender lens, equality lens applied by the organization, and the organization presents, I would say, highest standards of governance in the sector. The project is called Response, Restoring Ecosystem by Promoting Nature-Sensitive Endeavor. They will work directly with 6,500 farmers in 50 villages across 3 districts in West Bengal. We congratulate you for reaching this milestone in the journey of PRADAN. Over to you, Mr. Damodaran, if you would want to share something.
Thank you so much. Yeah, wishing all of you a very good afternoon. It is such a delight to have been selected for this award. I mean, it's a very pleasant surprise, especially because we have been selected from among some of the best organizations in the country. So it's a very humbling experience. So my heartfelt thanks to HCL and to the jury for honoring us with this award. So development, always has been caught in this dilemma of whether growth or environmental concerns. And we in PRADAN actually decided to break this binary and engaged with these rural women and help them actually strengthen their livelihoods in a manner that actually regenerated the local ecology and did not kind of compromise the ecological concerns. In the project that was selected, as Nidhi just announced, women took up large-scale rejuvenation of revitalization of the land, water, and forest resources in collaboration with the government of West Bengal. And therefore, I accept this award today in the name of those women who are in our response villages, who are our environmental actionists, I would say. I also thank the government of West Bengal, especially the various departments, NREGA, agriculture, forest, the livelihoods mission, who have been constant companions with us in this journey of, rejuvenating the ecology there in West Bengal. And I also thank the NGO partners who work very closely with us in this endeavor, and also our donor partners, Bharat Rural Livelihoods Foundation and the Hindustan Unilever Foundation. So whatever little we have achieved is actually an outcome of a partnership among many of us. But we are very delighted and thank you for this recognition and support. Thanks once again. It is a big delight for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Mr. Damodaran and the entire team of PRADAN. Moving on to the next category of health, let's have a quick look at our finalists. May we have the video, please?
The finalists in the health category are Cure International India Trust, Ekjut, the Association of People with Disability.
Clubfoot is a common but lesser known disability in which the baby's foot is twisted out of shape. Unfortunately, this permanent disability causing deformity remains largely unaddressed, especially in the rural areas of the country, due to lack of awareness, low early detection, and weak skill set and knowledge for treatment among medical professionals, which in most cases also mean falling out of the mainstream education system and leaving these children behind as weak, vulnerable, and dependent for life. But NGO Cure International India Trust is working towards a change. It aims to eliminate clubfoot permanently through its unique two-phase treatment method, which includes corrective phase, where casting and surgery takes place, and maintenance phase, where bracing is a key factor. West Singhbhum district of Jharkhand is an aspirational district with predominantly tribal population, which lacks access to necessary healthcare resources and have poor health indicators, especially anemia in girls and common mental disorders among adolescents and youth. But there is hope. These ordinary-looking youth are putting extraordinary efforts to make their village happy and healthy. This community-led intervention is a vision of Ekjut, a Jharkhand-based NGO that is committed to work for the marginalized tribal people with a clear aim to transform them into healthier communities. With their spirits soaring, every evening these injured but courageous people show up here to challenge their fate. This unique rehabilitation institute at Jeevan Bima Nagar, Bengaluru, is a vision of the Association of People with Disability, or APD, an NGO that's transforming the lives of underprivileged people with disability since 1959. Spinal injury rehabilitation is considered the costliest ailment due to the associated secondary complications, which result in premature death. APD noticed that poor safety precautions during livelihood activities like tree climbing, electricity pole climbing, construction work, and at times unfortunate road accidents lead to 1.5 million cases annually, where 78% of the cases come from rural India alone, and therefore began Spinal Injury Rehabilitation Program in the year 2001.
I request Nidhi to announce the winner in the health category.
Once again, sincere thanks to all finalists who are role models for everyone working in the healthcare sector. Jury has conveyed their highest regards for the work that you do. Considering various factors and the evaluations, the jury vote has gone to the Association of People with Disability, ADP, APD as we call them. Congratulations. Established in 1959 as a charitable society founded by N.S. Hema at 17 years of age, she was herself affected by polio, and she had this vision of for people living with disabilities to be able to live with integrity as well as be mainstreamed in the society. This entire mission was set up. The project is called Caught to Community. The vision itself speaks quite highly about itself, a comprehensive rehabilitation approach for persons with spinal cord injury, equity, dignity, and justice for socioeconomically challenged people with spinal cord injury is what the organization wishes to achieve. Very clear targets for close to 3,000 people with spinal cord injury, as well as training 3,000 caregivers under this project, which is going to be supported through HCL Grant. Congratulations, Dr. Senthil Kumar, and you may wish to express a few words here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nidhi. So very good afternoon to dignitaries. I should say it's a very proud and a momentous occasion for the Association of People with a Disability to win the prestigious 7th edition of HCL Grant. Our Caught to Community approach saves lives, but also brings persons with spinal cord injuries back into society as independent citizens. We're able to do this through a holistic rehabilitation program that goes beyond medical interventions. Our intervention in physical, social, psychological, educational, economic, sexual, bladder bowl training, accessibility, and sports go well beyond the traditional unidimensional model of healthcare. For the beneficiaries we serve, our model is in resource-poor communities. At APD, we follow a unique life cycle approach that equips, enables, and empowers the special needs of infant to the elderly, and we serve more than 60,000 people with disabilities every year, and we work with 19 out of 21 disabilities as per the RPWD Act 2016. On this memorable occasion, we are grateful to remember our founder, the late N.S. Hema, for her pioneering vision 63 years ago to strive to create a world where equity, dignity, and justice are assured for people with a disability. We are proudly standing here because of our dedicated and passionate community workers who toil hard to serve the poorest of the poor people with disabilities in many underserved communities in rural India. We are really grateful to all my colleagues, volunteers, donors, the government of Karnataka, and the respected board members who support our mission. My sincere thanks to HCL team and the jury members who challenged us throughout this rigorous 7-stage award process to raise our aspirations in a robust and a transparent process. We convey our deepest respect for our competitors and fellow awardees, each of whom is doing remarkable and a transformative work at the last mile. This partnership with HCL will enable us to serve 14,900 villages, impacting nearly 3,000 persons with spinal cord and 34,000. Last but not least, as Ellen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Congratulations, Dr. Senthil and the entire team of APD. Moving on to the final category, education. Let us have a quick look at our finalists. May we have the video, please?
The finalists in the education category are Banyan Academy of Leadership in Mental Health, Center for Youth and Social Development, Language and Learning Foundation.
A huge population of people with mental health issues in rural India will never get a chance in their lifetime to be diagnosed, let alone counseling or treatment. Huge treatment gap with just one mental health doctor for every 3 lakh people in India is a reason of grave concern. Condition in rural India is even worse. Banyan Academy of Leadership in Mental Health, or BAM Academy, a Tamil Nadu-based NGO working in the areas of research, education, training institution in mental health, is determined to do its bit in reducing mental health treatment gap in rural India through its unique model. Lockdown situation caused by the pandemic in 2020 exposed underlying inequalities of the Indian society. In these tribal-dominated villages of Odisha, huge digital divide resulted in steep rise in school dropouts. No access to essential information about hygiene practices and nutrition pushed households, lactating mothers into hunger and malnutrition. And no access to basic entitlements left vulnerable people at risk. Center for Youth and Social Development, or CYSD, an Odisha-based NGO, which has been working for improving quality of life of rural and tribal people in the state for 4 decades now, is determined to find a solution, or samadhan, as the program is called.
Katti imli 1 kg. Katti imli mitti eat.
This is a usual morning in the tribal-dominated areas of Bastar, Chhattisgarh, and looks perfectly okay, unless one realizes that these children are only parroting and not understanding the concepts taught in the class completely due to huge language barrier. As their mother tongue is Gondi, Halbi, Maria or Chhattisgarhi, learning in Hindi becomes a challenge and is the main reason that the state lags behind the national average significantly in both language and mathematics. To improve this scenario, what these children need is a multilingual approach in their curriculum. And this is what Language and Learning Foundation, an NGO, has been dedicatedly working towards.
May I request Nidhi to announce the winner in the education category?
The high unmet need in Bastar district in Chhattisgarh and the capacity of the organization to be able to work in that region took away jury's heart. Language and Learning Foundation, LLF, takes away the HCL Grant Edition 7 Education Category Award. Heartiest congratulations. Led by Dr. Jindwan, an officer of the Indian Administrative Services for 27 years. He served as Principal Secretary of Education with the Government of Assam, Director of Ministry of Education, and the Mission Director of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Who better than him to lead this mission? Rabindranath Tagore had said, in education, mother tongue or mother language is like mother's milk. And if we are able to mainstream children living in Bastar, what more can we achieve out of this program, which will be commissioned through HCL Grant? Congratulations, Dr. Jingran. Over to you for a few words here. Do you unmute yourself?
Thank you so much, Nidhi. We are absolutely thrilled and honored to be selected for this prestigious HCL Grant for the Education Sector 2022. This is a doubly sweet occasion for us because we are celebrating our 7th anniversary right now. We're really happy that through this grant, we'll be able to help a large number of children, tribal children in Bastar district in Chhattisgarh, to study and learn through a language that they use and understand. This will also be a big contribution to operationalize the new Education Policy 2020, which emphasizes inclusion of children's languages in primary education. I really thank the HCL Foundation, the entire HCL family, members of the jury, and everyone involved in this intensive selection process, due diligence process. I thank all members of the LLF team and the government of Chhattisgarh who have helped us design this program and also helped us during the selection process. I congratulate, my best wishes to all finalists of the HCL grant. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Dr. Bhir and the entire team of LLF. Congratulations to all our winners and the participants. This is no small feat to be among the 9 finalists after going through such a rigorous selection process. Thank you one and all, and congratulations to you.